Good evening, fam, and happy Tuesday. Our latest will be about President Ramaphosa, Julius Malema, and Donald Trump. Last week, President Ramaphosa was in the US to meet with Donald Trump regarding SA and USA relations, especially following widespread misinformation about the so-called genocide in SA. During their meeting, Trump expressed concerns over controversial struggle song Kill the Boer, Kill the Farmer, which the EFF leader Julius Malema often sings. Trump claimed that the song incited violence and insisted that Julius Malema should be arrested for promoting it. At the meeting, Ramaphosa said little to nothing to defend Julius Malema or clarify the historical context of the song that is in fact a liberation song from apartheid era. However, today Mr. President attempted to correct that narrative, stating that SA will continue to embrace its liberation songs and Trump has no right to dictate how SA should be governed. In the next slide, listen to Mr. President when he spoke about his trip to America and what he thinks of Donald Trump. Please remember to also leave your comments down below to let us know of your take regarding this. And that's all we have for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you again next time. Bye.
So when I came in, I saw the room going a bit dark. They darkened the room. And for a moment I wondered, what is this? It's happening to me again. because at that moment we were seated very nicely and I was beginning to get into a groove of, interacting with this man. And I suddenly hear him say, no, dim the lights. Dim. And I must say, a number of people have said, this was an ambush. This was an ambush. And I was bemused. I was saying, what's happening? So when I saw Clement, I said, this guy could have a role in all this. He's repeating what he experienced. But ladies and gentlemen, for us, and when it comes to the issues of arresting anyone for any slogan, that is a sovereign issue. It's not a matter where we need to be instructed by anyone that go and arrest this one. We are a very proud sovereign country that has its own laws, that has its own processes, and we take into account what the Constitutional Court also decided when it said that, that slogan, kill the Boer, kill the farmer, is a liberation chant and slogan. And it's not meant to be a message that elicits or calls upon anyone to go and be killed. And that is what our court decided. So they will probably want to arrest people willy-nilly. We follow the dictates of our constitution because we are a constitutional state and we are a country where freedom of expression is the bedrock of our constitutional arrangements. People believe that we went to Washington to discuss Starlink. That is not so. The issue of Starlink never even came up in the discussions that we had in the White House with President Trump, notwithstanding the fact that Elon Musk was there as part of the US delegation. So it wasn't discussed. The process of having low orbit satellites providing Wi-Fi and internet connectivity is known in South Africa. We've been through that, and there are quite a number of other companies, Chinese companies, European companies, and Russian companies, and many others, and local companies who are interested in getting into that space. So people tend to focus on one company only, and yet we've got a plethora of companies that would want to get into this space. So the environment to enhance or enable investment to happen in that space is precisely what needs to be properly crafted, properly permitted to enable that to happen. So the process that the minister has unleashed is a process that is going to elicit a lot of comment from the public, from various key stakeholders, including current role players in the sector. So that in itself is going to exhibit the true democratic process in our country, that when something new, something that is topical or even desirable has to be flighted or implemented or initiated, it's got to be supported by a lot of discussion. On three issues. The first issue was to reset our relationship with the United States. Relationship that had gone sour, relationship that had gone a little bit bumpy, where statements were being made which were not very helpful. And we felt that we needed to reset that relationship because the United States is a very important player. We export a lot of things to the United States. They export or they bring in a lot of goods as well as services to us. So for us, the United States being the biggest economic powerhouse in the world, we needed to reset the relationship. So in my conversation with President Trump on the phone, I said, want to come and see you. And he said, by all means, please come so that we can discuss a whole range of things. So resetting the relationship was the key issue, one of the key issues. The second one was to set up a process of engagement, to engage on tariffs, to engage on investment, as well as business processes, to discuss how the tariff regime between our two countries can be calibrated, including AGOA, whether we should carry on with AGOA, whether we should stay in AGOA. So that was primary in our minds, to discuss tariffs, to discuss investment and business relations. And the third thing was to get him to agree to be more favorably disposed towards the G20, because some of his people were pulling out. And we wanted to demonstrate to him that the G20 is important, not only because it's being held in South Africa, but because they, the Americans, initiated or started or established the G20. And so now that it is our time to hand over to them, I told him that I don't want to hand over to an empty chair. So he must come personally so that I can hand over the presidency to him. So those are our three objectives. So what you're talking about deals and so forth, that will now reside in the commitment on both sides to engage. So we are going to engage on a whole range of issues, package of issues that will lead to a deal between South Africa and the United States.
That type of language in the video that you saw.
Oh yes, we've always done so. As government, as my own party, we are completely opposed to that. We, in 1955, adopted a document which said South Africa belongs to all who live in it.
But why wouldn't you arrest that man? That man said, kill the white farmers, kill the white farmers. And then he danced, and he's dancing, and it's kill the white farmers. I'm not sure, but I think if somebody got up in Parliament and started saying kill a certain group of people, he would be arrested very quickly. That man is going all over South Africa, and that's not a small party. That was a stadium that holds 100,000 people, and I hardly saw an empty seat. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of representation. And those crosses, we have dead white people, dead white farmers, mostly. And you take a look at Australia, they're being inundated, and we're being inundated with people that want to get out. And their farm is valueless. it's valueless, and they just want to get out with their life. And this is a very serious situation.